We finna get straight to it. We finna get straight to it. Most epic anime fights of summer 2021. We finna get straight to it. But listen, before we get into this, I did an anime tier list video. You know, y'all.
You think Mob better than D? Hold on.
You think Mob is better than Demon Slayer? Listen, we had the I haven't watched. I was down terrible. You go check that video out for yourself. You know, but as I said, we finna watch most epic anime fights of summer 2021. You know, I seen Naruto versus Bayon or Isshiki or something like that. That was crazy. My last video, go check it out. Viniitube, we about to go crazy. I'm finna start dropping tons of videos. You know what I'm saying? All different varieties. Simple. Let's get straight to it. What's your favorite? What's your favorite anime down below? Let me turn this down. This is kind of loud. I'm not gonna hold you. Oh my! Please hold on. Why are we starting off like this? Viniitube. Vinny. Hold on, bro. What, bro? I can't understand. Oh my god. What is this?
And just like that, September's passed us by. If there's anything I can take away from this season, it's the fact that it's been quite action-packed. This season gave us a number of action series, and with them came some amazing fights. So here are some of my favorite fights of the season.
Hold on. First off, this is the only option. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's go.
Yo, let's get it. Star Wars got an anime? Star Wars got an anime? What? Star Wars got a whoa.
Let's just say that Star Wars has had quite a tumultuous run in recent years.
Dude,
I wouldn't say that the franchise is marred with controversy per se, but the last few movies have been quite polarizing now, haven't they? Well, the newest chapter to the saga, an anime out of all things, seems to set things up to an upswing. Star Wars Visions has debuted to a very positive response, and it has a lot to do with how each episodic chapter carries some interesting story potential. Among those, The Ninth Jedi is my favorite one by far. It really captures the classic Star Wars feel the most amongst the episodes, and I wouldn't really mind it being a launchpad into an entirely new series. Oh, and there's that amazing fight with Siths versus Jedis. I love it simply for the high-speed, frantically choreographed action that I've come to love the franchise for. In a little over just a minute, it also showcased some of the best of Star Wars battles. You have the quick one-shot, the usage of force powers and lightning.
The force powers and lightning is like the best, but when you become on your spiritual journey and become awoke, bro, and you meditate and you just tune in with your energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you can move anything, you know what I'm saying, with the forces unleashed. Simple.
And the very fast-paced dances that are the lightsaber battles. A lot of people consider this episode the best one in the series, and it's not hard to see why.
I heard about that lightsaber, the dark saber.
Do you want to grow your YouTube channel? Do you want to earn more views, more subscribers?
Nigga, get off my screen. Oh yeah, we seen this.
At times, first impressions are everything. That's all you need to get a legion of anime fans following your show weekly. If you're asking me for the best first impression of the season, I'd easily give it to The Detective Is Already Dead. Things opened with a bang in the show's pilot episode, fearing an amazingly animated fight between Siesta and Gomori. Everyone was raving about this fight and its animation, but
I'm gonna skip it though, but this was a W vid. That was a W vid. Definitely. Gun to your throat,
we proceed with Luffy versus Ulti.
Why the graphics like these?
En route to its landmark 1000th episode, One Piece gave us a treat with a recent fight. Ulti.
Hold on, we needed these animations crispy. 1,000 episodes, bro. Let me start pausing. But 1,000 episodes is crazy. Bro, this is beautiful. Oh, hold on, we got the slim thick. Hey, I need me an Android 17 like these. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He's no slouch, and despite the hype that Luffy gets with his newfound power.
Android 17. That's Android 18, right? tweaking.
Hours. Aldi still puts up a fight that has him on the ropes. Punches were thrown, hakis clashing. It's definitely not as hype as some of the major boss fights in One Piece history, but we're talking over 2 decades.
This not as hype?
Here. The fight is still pretty damn good as a standalone. Always love seeing Luffy in action, and I say that he really works well in these short but sweet duels. And of course, Yamato's entrance at the end. I feel like Toei absolutely nailed the Thunder Bagua scene.
Yeah, this is beautiful, bro. Yo, I gotta catch up on One Piece, bro. This is beautiful, bro.
Next on the list is Ganme versus Mobu. Why is everyone sleeping on Kingdom again? Why, when it's got spectacular action and intense battles like this one? I know the show has had its share of fans, but I feel that it's always this underappreciated show that deserves a lot more.
Wait. Most anticipated. How you go from One Piece to this? The first two was goated. If we start,
Fans, perhaps the
I know
whole
the videos
Dynasty
get better as
Warriors
well. This
setting is
better be
quite
lit.
niche, just like Sengoku Basara during its heyday. But Kingdom is much more than that. We expect a lot of army battles in something like this, but the fight that stole the show for me is Ganme versus Mobu from the current season. Standing ahead of their respective armies, the two combatants engage each other on horseback, none giving anything to the other. I just love the intensity in this fight. There's not much visual eye candy that we've been spoiled with thanks to UFO Table and Mappa, but the fight more than makes it up with intensity and the level of gravity thanks to the music and the slow panning shots. It's just one of those gritty, tense battles that can even stand to be a bit bloodier to drive the point home. Speaking of ensemble fights, Doman versus Valhalla is really epic.
This is savage, bro. Oh.
Yep, this is something that I'd expect from Tokyo Revengers. Good old gang wars that have no shortage of fierce action and drama. The fights between the mob are all sorts of intense, but the camera's all focused on the meat of the action. I really find the camera cuts in their individual fights so well done. You can feel that you're part of the action by just watching and seeing how each of their fast blows gets captured in anime form. But it was Mikey's scene that stole the show for me. The tension and the drama was at an all-time high, and it looks like one of Doman's pillars finally bit the dust. Until he didn't. I got goosebumps seeing Mikey get back up and hand everyone else a whole can of ass kicking. He's down, but he's never out. And all it takes is a switch being flipped for him to go all badass and raise hell all over the enemies.
Yeah, disrespect. You hold on to a nigga leg and still. That's like trying to start somebody punch, but you still get punched. That's super simple.
Rin versus Nickel from Idaten Deities is also pretty cool.
What? Oh, this is my thumbnail from last video.
At first, I wasn't too sure what to expect from this latecomer to the season. The premise is simple enough, but I didn't think that Idaten Deities had a premise that
Also, this is not my video. Copy, no copy, fair use, all that. Not my video. I repeat, not my video.
Lends itself to a lot of attention-grabbing battles. The synopsis, partially thanks to the art, reads more like a comedy with a few...
He got a hole in his chest?
A lot of attention-grabbing battles. The synopsis, partially thanks to the art... reads more like a comedy with a few dashes of nice fights. Nice, but pretty standard, and not too great. I'm glad to have been proven wrong though, especially with this fight between Rin and Nickel, or should I say Rin's showcase of power. The fight looks unique compared to the rest of the roster so far in that it retains the light, cartoony appeal of Idaten Deities art. It doesn't look as crisp or modern as something like the Siesta fight that started this list. Regardless, the fight has that same appeal that those Chinese anime fights that I love so much had in that, despite the simplistic art style. It's got that wacky cartoony feel that you might just enjoy.
They just killed. I thought they was friends. They just killing like those. What is this, bro? What, bro? What? Yo, this is the latest big bro.
It feels so good to have Madoka Magica once again. The new movie looms in the horizon, and the second half of Magia Record finally kicks the plot into overdrive after what the first season left us. In particular, I really love seeing our favorite magical girls in action again, and Magia Record does an excellent job of introducing new characters and having them work with or face off against the legacy characters.
I don't even watch like anime females solely, bro. But this look crazy. This looks wild. Like something you should watch. Somebody need to make a list of all the animes I said I should watch, man. You know what I'm saying? Lean down. Oh, it's not my fault.
Her own issues with the protagonist, and it's nice to see the two groups of battles converge into one chaotic display of explosions and magic. The fight also has quite the emotional backdrop to it, and while Magia Record may not have quite captured the success of its predecessor, this Season 2 has more than redeemed Season 1 for me. There's a lot more at stake and far better action.
Oh, and bro, that's another thing about these anime.
Hero Academia continues rolling with Shigaraki versus Ridestro.
Yo, I've been missing out. I've been wanting to watch him.
My Villain Academia hitting all the right notes in the decisive confrontation between the two
Yo, what
leaders
happened to
of the
him last
villains.
time I see him? He was like the main villain. He was telling niggas to stone and dust. Yo, like, it's like, bro. I'm gonna start pausing because I don't know how to say
a lot
it.
of people have been clamoring to see Shigaraki and Ridestro duking it out in anime form, and while that fight's been toned down, it still does manage to be a home run. Villain versus villain showdowns have always been interesting because it's a battle that you can sit back and not be too invested on one side, or it should have been. What happens is that a lot of these end up having one less bad guy for you to root for. In this case, I found myself rooting for Shigaraki, more due to how much better he is as a character for me. But none of that matters when we start seeing the fireworks fly and the city being destroyed in a clash that would put some of the previous MHA battles to shame. With two characters who have less of a moral compass duking it out, you'd expect to see carnage and destruction, and that's exactly what we got. In the end, Shigaraki stands victorious after leaving a lot of annihilation in his wake, capping off the arc that ended up being a lot more interesting than I first expected it to be when it was still in its anime form. Should I also point out that both of their powers show some similarities to Deku's and Overhaul's powers? Talk about irony and a callback to one of the best fights of the previous My Hero Academia season. You'd think that these slice-of-life dragons can throw it down, but here we are. Toru and Elma just had an intense battle that could give some shonen fights a run for their money. Toru and Elma blast each other with attacks that just make you go, wow. Seeing each blast that sends the combatants flying miles away is a joy, but I love the banter more. In-fight talking helps drives up the stakes and the intensity of a fight, and the voice actors show us a better way than expected example of that here. It also gave us a surprisingly touching scene between the combatants, which I feel is the more important takeaway here. Fights are not just all about the energy blast and the punches after all. The emotion has to be there as well. On the meta side of things, what makes this sequence so touching is that it's something created in-house in Kyoto Animation. The whole sequence is the staff flexing their skills and delivering with a product that's a lot better than what we can ask for. Shows a lot about the resiliency of one of the best studios in the industry, all things considered. In spite of the tragedy a few years ago, Kyoto Animation has come back stronger, and I find that a very wholesome thing.
If you're a content creator of any kind, you need to start.
Bro, that was it, bro. Hold on, bro. What was that, bro? What was that called, bro? Hold on, bro. What was that called, bro? 10:43. Please, give me a minute, bro. Give me a minute, bro. What that called, bro? Let me take a picture. I'm watching these most definitely. This ain't no way. You know. Perfect execution. I can see everything. You know what I'm saying? W photo. But it was 10:43. There we go. That was. This was lit too, bruh. This is hot.
Isshiki's been having Naruto's number for the longest time. He already did the unthinkable and beat both Naruto and Sasuke, and he looks to be in the process of doing so again. This time, Naruto has a new form, but will he be able to turn the tides? We're talking about a new form in shonen anime, so what do you expect? New forms may not win all the time, but they sure look good doing so almost all the time. Baryon mode ends up being impressive, with it all allowing Naruto to bring the beat down to Isshiki, smacking him around and drawing lots of clean hits that would have taken out any lesser being. All while looking all kinds of sleek thanks to the huge makeover. It doesn't come without a price though, as both he and Isshiki will soon realize as the battle wears on. This entry is a late addition that came up as I was in the process of wrapping up the video script, but it's very worth the spot. You can really feel the impact from each of Naruto.
Yo! The one I was watching did not show everything. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because it just showed him getting hit in the face. It didn't show all this, bro.
Blows, and with the rocky music keeping you pumped up, the battle is a treat to watch. Hand-to-hand combat has rarely looked this good, but the guys behind Boruto did it. The adaptation really did justice to the hype.
Bro, I don't know if you noticed, bro, but like when the character get like god level, You notice they not using all type of like glasses. They just like, oh my god.
So how would
They just
you
like
rank these
smooth
10
hand,
fights,
bro.
though?
You notice that like for like Beerus, he not all destruction or like Whis, for example. He like the strongest character in Dragon Ball, bro. But he not using these crazy destructive moves. He's like he easily just, you know what I'm saying? You only gotta see. I just hit you 5 times. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. I don't know what I was just talking about, but that was the W video, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. W video, like I said, this whole video was live. It's your boy Aaron. Subscribe.